let us continue with Okeanos. Let's get that Okeanos going. When it comes to story for FGO, I think Okeanos is pretty darn solid. It's probably, I'd say, the best one up until get to Camelot. Oh, I'm sorry. That must have been really loud for you guys for a second. My bad. I forgot to turn it down a little bit. But yeah, to be honest, story-wise, is solid. Worth reading.
目を背けよく言いました。逃がすものか。なんだ。魔女ですね。最上に近い勝利。戦う前に勝つくらいでなければ。
パパーン。
弱き者、醜き者であれば不満はありません。むしろ上がります。よくいい判断です。逃がすものか。罠だ。分断する。いい判断です。目を背けないで。死になさい。死になさい。逃がすものか。簡単に終わらないように。さて、どこから潰しよくいい判断です。分断する。魔女ですので。魔女ですので。やっと血がたぎってきたのに終わりだなんて。いつの世も反乱分子は物足りませんね。
I see Sagas is putting his desires in chat again.
任せなさい。ふさわしい敵であれば 容赦なく指揮を通してあげ、あまり悩ませないようによく言いました。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢、最果てにありながら鳥は明日を歌うでしょう。ロードレスキャメロ逃がす者か分断する。
いいじゃないか、かかってきな。舐めてくれたね。
Oh no, a single NP wasn't enough to clear.
目をそよく言いました。死になさい。
That's how you know it's all going downhill from here, boys.
弱き者、醜き者であれば不満はありません。よく言いました。目を背けないで逃がす者か死になさい。内側から追われる。よく言いました。分断する。あまり悩ませないようによく言いました。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢、最果てにありながら鳥は明日を歌うでしょう。ロードレスキャメロ何を喜んでいるのです。私が出たのです。勝利は約束されていたはずですわ。
Let me ask you, do you have any more questions about the game or its mechanics or anything along those lines? Not at the moment, huh? Okay. I guess we'll just cruise along.
弱き者、醜き者であれば不満はありません。むしろ上がります。いい目を背けないました。逃がす者か
For starting the game fresh, do you find DPS or support to be better? Good question.
死になさい。
Completely and utterly fresh, having an extra DPS is better. But, in my opinion, I don't think it is particularly hard to catch up. As long as you do exactly what I'm doing here, and just let a support servant carry you. So despite the fact that I think for just the purposes of go fast, having another DPS is better. For the purposes of account be good, you still want those supports.
よく言いました。慈悲だ、神戸を垂れよ。恐怖はない、希望もない、何人も通るにあたわず。
最上に近い勝利。戦う前に勝つくらいでなければ。
like for example, your very first roll, you're going to get a random 4-star. For that, a DPS is what you want because none of them are particularly good supports. So Heracles is by far the best. It's not even close. For your first 5-star, you get to pick a specific 5-star out of a relatively good list, and I mentioned which ones are good DPSs and all, but I would still 100% recommend you get the support Zhuge Liang here, or Tamamo no Mae, as your free 5-star. But in terms of spending your Saint Quartz, I gave pretty much a tier list of 5 servants that I think it is perfectly fine to spend your first Saint Quartz on to start diving into like actual meta servants. And top of that list is Caster Artoria because she's a servant in the game, bar none. And then second place is kind of tied between Koyunskaya of the Light, Morgan Le Fay, and Arjuna Alter. 2 DPSs and 1. I forgot to turn. Oopsie. Hi there. As I was saying, 2 DPSs and 1 support that are all in second place, tied with each other in terms of importance for pulling. And then the others were all supports that I mentioned. Merlin, Lady Avalon, Scotty, and Ruler Scott. Because, and this is the reason behind that, the supports enable the DPS to be good. For example, right now you are watching me sometimes struggle to, instantly kill the level 40 enemies with like 40,000, 50,000 HP in this speedrun. And that is because I don't have supports properly boosting the damage of my main damage dealer. If I did have supports doing that, it wouldn't even be a question. We could deal millions upon millions of damage with the proper supports. Meanwhile, without the proper supports, we're probably not even going to kill Eric Bloodaxe here with just the Noble Phantasm. Ah, did get him. So yeah, at the end of the day, really good supports are less common than really good DPS. There's a lot more DPS servants in the game than there are support servants, and the supports do more for your composition and make your composition stronger than just adding more DPS servants. So all that stuff combined really makes the support servants the one to go for, just because they're better. With the only 2 exceptions I gave being the best DPS servants in the game. So yeah, there's the reason for it on top of which one. No? Hopefully that completely answers any questions that front. Who should I roll for during summer, since you have Merlin, Castoria, Scotty, and Summer Musashi? Okay. This summer actually is bringing forth a lot of very good servants. So, in this upcoming summer event, We are going to get Lady Avalon is definitely one that you would like because she pairs super well with Caster Artoria as a support. She's just Arts Merlin, and Merlin is already a really, really good servant to use for your support in boss fights, even if you're using an Arts servant. Because Merlin's just that strong with his Noble Phantasm presence and everything like that. So Lady Avalon is great. Summer Musashi is going to be pretty heavily outclassed with the Summer Ibuki Doji servant coming out. As much as you might hate to hear it, Ibuki Doji's way stronger. Like, irresponsibly stronger and better. So, you know, if you really want to keep up with big meta stuff, she's the better pick. You can get by with Summer Musashi without any real... think you'll have any problems with her. But thought I'd at least mention it. Ruler Scotty, Swimsuit Scotty is, in my opinion, not the most necessary servant if you have regular Scotty. They basically are the same servant, where Ruler Scotty is ever so slightly better. So that one's up to you. And if you're doing big meta picks anyway, then you're not going to get her just because she's quick support and quick is dead. And will still be dead for, you know, at least 2 years, according to the way that JP is currently working. But yeah, Lady Avalon's very, very good, and Ibuki Doji is very, very good. I mean, Ruler Scotty is also quite good. It's just quick is not. So personally, I feel like she falls a fair bit behind the other two. And how rude of Lasagna to be like, okay, hey, guess what? We're gonna give you this big, highly desired anniversary servant, and then also 3 extremely good 5-star servants. Also on the rate up is Ashia Domon, another really good 5-star servant. Anniversary plus the summer events are where they really squeeze for money. Ow. Huh. The Waver did that little damage.
逃がすものか逃がすものかさてどこ簡単に終わらないように目を背けないんです。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢、最果てにありながら鳥は明日を迎えるでしょう。ロードレスキャメロン、何を喜んでいるのです。私が出たのです。勝利は約束されていたはずですが。
If I'm looking at the upcoming summoning banners, all I have to do is type in FGO summoning banners 2024. I got a nice little list. May brings Castoria.
出陣します。私の後に続きなさい。
And then once the anniversary hits, that's when hell breaks loose. You got Archetype Earth, followed closely by Koyanskaya, followed closely by Lady Avalon and Ashiadomon and Ibuki Doji and Ruler Scotty. Sheesh. Why must they assault poor Wallet-kun like this?
死になさい。逃がすものか。よく目を背けないで。いい判断です。逃がすものか。魔女ですの。
You must have realized, hey, if we pack everything together.
死になさい。
That'll force those assholes to spend money.
いい判断。よく言いました。分断する。
I like to think that's exactly how they said it too.
すべて見つめます。暗き目を背けないで来たれ。慈悲だ。神戸を垂れよ。恐怖はない。希望もない。何人も通るにあたわず。やっと血がたぎってきたのに終わりだなんて。いつの世も
Hey, bond level 5. We
一気火星に滅ぼしてくれ。
式はこうして手に入らない簡単に終わらないように全て見つめます。よろしい。
ではそうしよ
う。目を背けないで展開します。
If that crit's enough or not.
死になさい。
Was not.
慈悲だ。神戸を垂れよ。恐怖はない。希望もない。何人も通るにあたわず。 やっと血がたぎってきたのに終わりだなんて。いつの世も反乱分子は物足りませんね。
Hey Chad, I got a question for you. Why did the chicken perform a seance? To contact the other side.
我が進化よ。玉座の下はできていますのです。死になさい。
なんだ。
目を背けいい判断です。死になさい。逃がすもの。
No me, Chad. I'm full of zingers.
手に入らないなら宝具いい判断です。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。最果てにありながら鳥は明日を歌うでしょう。ロードレスキャメロン。何を喜んでいるのです。私が出たのです。勝利は約束されていたはずです。弱き者、醜き者であれば不満はありません。目を背けない。よく言いました。モルゴース。
計略だ。
魔女ですね。目を背けない。言いました。分断する。よくいい判断です。目を背けないで。分断する。分断する。死になさい。目を背けないで。よく言いました。いい判断です。逃がすものか許すものか。モルゴース。さて、どこから潰したものか。目を背けいい判断。言いました。逃がすものかモルゴース。何を喜んでいるのです。私が出たのです。勝利は約束されていたは 弱き者、醜き者であれば不満はありません。いい判断です。分断する。分断する。いい判断。目を背けないで。逃がすものか。逃がすものか。式はこうしてあげるもの。よく目を背けないで。そういいでしょう。私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよロードレスキャメロット。何を喜んでいるのです。私が出たのです。勝利は約束されていた。
Sailing so far? When I started this, I said I'm probably not going to be hitting any snags until Camelot. Maybe E pluribus unum. But even that, like I said, is at most a mate.
死になさい。すべて見つめます。よ式はこうしてあげるもの。すべて見つめます。よろしい。よく言いました。慈悲だ。神戸を垂れよ。恐怖は希望もない。生人通るにあたわず。内側から終わり。アコーロ無礼者。諦めなさい。何を喜んでいるのです。私が出たのです。勝利は約束され。
That's it, chat. I cast upon you the most brutal spell known to man. You shall now have a Uniball.
Waga shinka yo. 玉座の支度はできていますか。いい判断。目を背けないで。逃がすもの。魔女ですの。いい目を背けない。よく言いました。分断する。魔女ですの。分断する。よく目を背けないで。逃がすものか。
way, guys, are you all excited for the eclipse coming in another day?
さてどこから潰したものかいい判断です。
オーセロット
目を背けないで。
無駄だ。
モルゴース逃がすものか。
Considering it's the first full eclipse in, man, a fucking long time, it'll be pretty neat.
いい判断です。逃がすもの。
And the next full eclipse won't be
逃がすもの。
another very long time.
簡単に終わらないように。
Tired of seeing the eclipse news everywhere? Well, it's, you know,
それは絶えず見た
it's like a once in 100-year thing almost. A once in like 60, 70 years.
ロードレスキャメロ
Once in a lifetime for the vast majority of people.
何を喜んでいるのです。私が出たのです。勝利は約束され
So I can understand a lot of people being excited for it.
任せなさい。ふさわしい敵であれば容赦に終わらない。あまり悩ませないようによく言いました。そういいでしょう。 私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよロードレスキャメロット。簡単に終わらないように。
It's a different
目を背けないで。
it's a different level of eclipse.
よく目を背けない。いい判断です。逃がすものか。潰れなさい。逃がすものか。やっと血がたぎってきたのに終わりだなんて。いつの世も反乱分子は物足りませんね。
Yeah. It is a total solar eclipse that is essentially going to it's going to be so in such a large totality that more than just the US is going to be able to see it. And a pretty large portion of the land on the Earth is going to be completely cast into darkness during the middle of the day. It's also, because it's a total solar eclipse, when it reaches its totality, you actually don't need special eclipse viewing glasses or anything to look at it. You can actually look just right at it. Now, that being said, you should definitely wear eclipse glasses, because unless it's at that perfect point, and it will only be there for a kind of short period of time, it is still not advisable to look directly into the eclipse. For obvious reasons.
それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。最果てにありながら鳥は明日を歌うでしょう。ロードレスキャメロ。
So yeah, the big reason why it's so widespread is because of how many people are going to be able to actually experience it properly.
あまり悩ませないよ。楽しくなるでしょう。よくいい判断です。逃がすものか。分断する。モルゴース。 やっと血がたぎってきたのに終わりだなんて。
Yeah, so,
反乱分子は物足
like
りません
for what it says here, the last total solar eclipse visible in Montreal was in 1932, and the next one won't be until 2205. So yeah. A very once-in-a-lifetime event unless you go chasing these. The next total solar eclipse won't happen until 2026, where it will be visible, according to NASA, in Greenland, Iceland, Spain, Russia, and a small area around Portugal. Whereas it will appear as a partial eclipse to much of the rest of the world. Like I said, unless you were like specifically chasing these things,
いい判断、よく言いました。死になさい。
then they're pretty rare.
内側から壊れ。式はこうしてあげる。手に入らないの。
By the way, fun fact, chat. I think we're just kind of cruising through FGO at the moment. NASA has apparently already mapped out every date of solar eclipse from now until the year 3000.
最上に近い勝利。戦う前に勝つくらいでなければ。
So if you ever really want to schedule those eclipse viewings, you got more than a lifetime's worth of dates to work with. Because at the end of the day, mapping out eclipses, mathematics and stuff. And I don't know about if you've heard this before, but I think those NASA guys are kind of okay at math. I hear they're not too bad at it.
Yoく言いました。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。最果てにありながら鳥は明日を歌うでしょう。ロードレス、キャメロ。魔女ですので潰れなさい。光栄の夢。私は本気でやっと血がたぎってきたのに終わりだなんて。 いつの世も反乱分子は物足りませんね。
Yeah, it makes it straightforward to map out celestial body movement without interference.
一気火星に滅ぼしてくれよ。やるぞ、マスター。
よくいい判断です。死になさい。
罠。
分断する。目を背けない。よく言いました。死になさい。分断する。すべて見つめます。よろしい。よく言いました。よく目を背けないで。死になさい。逃がすものか。分断する。やっと血がたぎってきたのに終わりだなんて。いつの世も反乱分子は
But the Queen Anne's revenge was Blackbeard.
戦闘か。なるべくは避けたい行為だ。仕方あるまい。
よくいい判断です。逃がすものか。内側から終わる。簡単に終わらないように目を背けない。よくいい判断です。死になさい。分断する。分断する。何を喜んでいるのです。私が出たのです。勝利は約束されていたはずです。
一気火星に滅ぼしてくれよ。やるぞ、マスター。ではこうしよう。
ほう、よく言いました。そういいでしょう。私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよロードレスキャメロット。手に入らないなら式を通してあげるもの。食べなさい。いいよく目を背けないで。死になさい。死になさい。分断す
犠牲が少なければそれでも勝利だ。
So chat, what anime you guys watching since new season has just begun? Anybody in here also in the Konosuba camp? Raise your hand if you are. Absolutely good. Good. Yeah, season 3 Konosuba. Big hype. Yeah. There's also season 3 of Tensei Shitara Slime, and I actually like I like slime reincarnation.
あまり悩ませない。さて、どこから潰した簡単に終わる簡単に終わらないように手に入らないよ。よ、いい暗き湖よ。死にな
There's
さい。
also Spice and Wolf is exciting to me.
そう、いいでしょう。私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよ。ロードレスキャメロット。ここまで。
Blue Archive anime? What are you, a
終わ
pedophile?
りだなんて。
Wait, you know what Blue Archive is? Never mind. Answer the question for myself. Don't know what Windbreaker is. Not sure what that is. Oh, Kaiju Hachigo. Man, I liked the beginning premise of it. I've been reading the manga. It became just kind of monster fights rather than being the more interesting thing I thought it was going to be. It's not bad. It's just kind of somewhat generic shonen, I would say.
出陣します。私の後に
It's
続きなさい。
it's executed well enough to be worth a check out, though.
逃がすものか。内側から追われる。モルゴース。
Triggers this season Tokyo Revengers. I never watched Tokyo Revengers Reddit or anything. I don't know what it is about at all. So yeah, that would be why I have no clue what it is.
私の足元で許しを乞いなさい。落ちよ。ロードレスキャメロット。
Oh, you know what? I'm actually really interested in seeing if the animation will do justice to reincarnated as the seventh prince. Tensei Shitara Dai Nano Oji datta node kimama ni majutsu o kiwamemasu.
手に入らないあまり悩ませない楽しくなるでしょうあまり悩ませない楽しくなるでしょういい目を背けないで
Because the
許すものか逃がすものか
the manga has some it kind of goes back and forth between extremely beautiful, super high detailed art and, you know, I spent like 5 minutes on this page. This page looks like they spent a week on. This page looks like they spent a minute on.
何を喜んでいるのです私が出たのです勝利は約束されていたはずですが
My expectations are low for Blue Archive anime because of the bad track record of game adaptations. That's fair. That's fair. Hell, even the Fate Go anime adaptation of Babylonia was not as good as it should have been. That's for sure. It was all right, but there was some stuff that definitely should have been better. Trying to think if there's any other big name anime this season that I have any interest in at all.
分断する
High speed étoile. Totally. Definitely gonna be watching that racing anime. You know me, I love racing.
さてどこから潰し式はこうし
Did I like free run? Oh yeah, of course.
食べなさ
I had actually been reading the free run manga for
いよく目を背けない
a while before the anime even got announced because
そ
I
れは
liked it a
絶え
lot.
ず見た滅びの夢最果てにありながら鳥は明日を歌うでしょうロードレスキャメラ逃がす者か
And the anime was a good
最上
adaptation,
に近い勝利
so everybody happy.
戦う前に勝つくらいでなければ
All right, Chad, here's the real question. Anybody watching season 5172 of Crayon Shin-chan? How fucking long has that series been going on? I feel like that and Detective Conan are never ending. I feel like they've literally always existed. And every single anime season, both of those are like in the continuation tab.
戦闘かなるべくは避けたい行為
いい判断ですよくいい判断です分断する
Which I guess isn't that surprising. Detective Conan has how many manga chapters? Like 1,200 or so?
いい判断よく言いました逃がす者か死になさい
It's actually kind of surprising to me that Detective Conan, which has existed longer than One Piece, has less chapters than One Piece now. Or close to it.
手に入らないのいい判断目を背け
But
ない
that's because
分断する
that's because Eiichiro Oda is an insane person and never stops working ever. To the point that they actively have to force him to take breaks.
終わりだなんていつの世も反乱分子は
I am really hoping, really hoping that everyone that was like a good friend with Akira Toriyama, which includes all the artists and authors of like the big name Shonen Jump stuff. I'm really hoping those guys take a bit of time off just to, you know, work through the process of a good friend and inspirational mentor passing away. I know it's been a month since then, but still, a month isn't
ふさわしい
as
敵
long
であれ
as
ば容
it's
赦
not that long.
目をいい判断
At the end of the day, right?
逃がす者か魔女ですのでモルゴース
Especially the message that some of the manga authors put out about how they just like kind of stopped functioning entirely when they got the news and didn't know what to do. Like those guys clearly took it really hard. And I don't blame them. Akira Toriyama was like so huge.
目をよく言いました死になさい
The artist of one of the most popular series of video games in all of Japan and of the most popular anime series in all of Japan. And many parts of the world,
よく言い
too.
ました そういいでしょう。私の足元で許
So
しを
yeah,
乞いなさい。
落ちよ
oh yeah, the Oda and Kishimoto letters were two I was thinking of, where the guys were like
最上に近い勝利
saying they pretty much don't know how to process it. They hope that everything Akira Toriyama ever wanted for in the afterlife is exactly what he gets, and all that stuff. I mean, that's why I was honestly surprised One Piece didn't go on a break sooner. It's just started doing a break like this week. Gonna go for about a month. Because Oda's letter especially, dude sounded absolutely torn up with what he wrote. He essentially put out a letter that said, "My hero has died and I don't know what to do."
玉座の支度はできている。目を背
And
け
when you
よ
and
く
when
言
you
いました。
like read that letter, you're like, "Okay, dude, please take a
逃
break."
がすものか。モルゴース。手に入らないの。
Thankfully, that is what's happening.
目を背けないで死になさい。
Now, I'll say this, it's also a little unfortunate it's happening right now because they left on a big-ass cliffhanger right before the break, but what can you do? One Piece loves going on break and leaving a
目を背け
cliffhanger.
ないで言いました。逃がすものか。モルゴース。
Oda-san, you have to take a break. Okay, fine, but let me just leave this. Let me just get to this cliffhanger chapter so everyone can squirm in their chair during the break.
落ちよロードレスキャメロット
That damn sadist.
犠牲が少なければそれでも勝利
Anyway, I won't spoil anything, but One Piece is, I would guess, 3 years away from. That's my guess, unless some extra breaks, and I'd say about 3 years.
一気火星に滅ぼしてくれよ
目をいい判断です。
マスター
逃がすものか。死になさい。分断する。
Which may sound like a long time, but considering One Piece has been running for what, 24 years? 3 years ain't a lot in that particular
食べなさい。あまり悩ませない。手に入らない。楽しくなるでしょ。
context.
暗き水。
That's the word I was looking for, context.
慈悲だ。神戸を垂れよ。恐怖はない。希望もない。何人も通るにあたわず。分断する。やっと血がたぎってきたのに終わりだなんて。いつの世も反乱分子。
Oh, Chad, I got a question for you. Did anyone go out there and get that Dune 2 popcorn bucket? You know the one. You go get the bucket and stick your penis in it, chat? Answer the question. The what? The Dune 2 popcorn bucket. Here, for those that haven't seen it, this is what it looks like.
我が進化よ。玉座の支度はできていますか?
They really just decided to be like, here you go. Don't stick your dick in it. These guys are gonna stick their dicks in it.
いい目を背け、いい判断です。死になさい。
罠だ。
分断する。式はこうしてあげるもの。食べなさい。
仰せの
よく言いました。
無駄だ。
分断する。
I hear Dune 2 is very good. I haven't seen it yet, but I should definitely give it a watch when I get the chance.
さて、どこから潰したもの?
Dune 1 was cool, and I've not heard any of. I haven't heard a whole huge outcry of people like, oh, it's much worse than the books. Most people seem to be pretty content with the adaptation, which is usually a pretty good sign.
「我が進化よ。玉座の支度はできていますか? よくいい判断です。死になさい。
なんだ。
死になさい。よく目を背けないで。死になさい。分断する。いい判目を背けない言いました。モルゴース。モルゴース。魔女ですの。いい判断です。死になさい。
Oh, chat. I guess kind of spoilers for the current event on FGO NA, but no, there's been time to finish it. Did you guys like how my wives Morgan and Melt solved literally all the problems by themselves?
何を喜んでいるのです。私が出たのです。勝利は約束されていた。
Meltrellis, the Giga Chad that she is, just saying, hey, what if I just stop the entire ocean? And then Morgan, the Giga Chad that she is, shows up and says, oh, I can fix this. Let me just summon God.
Yo 醜きも目を背けないで。よく言いました。死になさい。分断する。魔女ですの。
Well, summon a god. After all, there are many gods in FGO.
よく言いました。
つまらん。
目を背けないで。逃がすものか。
無駄だ。
I hiccup.
分断する。 いい目を背けないで死になさい。
And yeah, the welfare-free servant you get this the Trung Sisters event is quite good. Strong.
慈悲だ。神戸を垂れよ。恐怖は希望もない。何人も通るにあたわず。
He is certainly worth leveling up and getting his skills
何を
leveled.
喜んでいるのです。私が出たのです。勝利は約束。
I just wish I liked the Pokemon art style a little bit better. I'm not a big fan of it, personally. The current Pokemon art style. Because that's obviously who the artist is. For the Trung Sisters and Welfare Servant. Oh, what's their name again? Take.
我が進化よ。玉座の支度はできていますか？
Sorry, did you just post a Vaporeon and say nonsense?
目を背けないで
As if Vaporeon is from this art style? Come on.
魔女ですね。よくいい目を背けないで逃がすものか。
Like, modern Pokemon art style, guys. I actually really like the older Pokemon art style. I'm a big fan.
あまり悩ませないように。
I am the opposite of the modern Pokemon art style. I'm not a big fan. It's more hit and miss now than it used to be, I guess, is what I mean, right? Like, I don't like every single Pokemon art thing I ever have seen with the old style, and I don't dislike everything from the modern style. It's just the balance is off. I dislike more modern than I did of the old.
手に入らないのなら簡単に終わらないように。暗きよく言いました。そう。 いいでしょう。私の足元で
And
許
there's
しを
some
乞いなさい。
real weird design choices.
ロードレスキャメロット。死になさい。
最上に近い勝利。戦う前に勝つくらいでなければな。
Because like some of the trainer and designs in modern Pokemon are real sleek and stylish, and then some of them look really clunky and bleh. Both trainers and Pokemon. The creatures. Like, for example, both the professors in Scarlet and Violet look great. And then the fucking Team Whatever, one of the Team Whatever villains looks just awful. Just a terrible, terrible design. Mela, I think, is her name.
任せなさい。ふさわしい敵であれば容赦なく。 よくいい判断です。逃がすものか。魔女ですので。
It doesn't matter what the team name
魔女で
is.
すので。
Boots Girl, yeah. Boots Girl. Here we go. Look at this shit. What the fuck is wrong with her boots? And did she tattoo pure black all over her arms? Why are the boots so big? How does she walk? Does she have to waddle? I don't understand that design. And then it also just comes down to proportions for characters and how rounded everything is now, as opposed to some sharper design from the older art style. She goose steps? Ah, okay. Well, of course she does, because how the hell else are you gonna walk in those boots?
最上に近い勝利。戦う前に勝つくらいでなければ。
But yeah, like even Scarlet and Violet has, you know, mixed designs where some of them I like and some of them I despise. I'd say it's just kind of an overall, I like slightly sharper characters with more adult proportions for the adults. Like, all of the adults have pretty similar proportions to the kids in terms of, like, head to shoulder ratio, you know? So all the adults look like they're almost like chibi characters, or like their bodies are too small stuff. That Yu-Gi-Oh hair? Hell yeah. Honestly, if we're going with just hairstyles, I don't have a whole lot to complain about for just the hairstyles. It's everything on top of with the hairstyles that tend to be a little bit off. Like I said, the biggest thing that messes with me is like the head to body proportions are kind of off. The bodies are too thin and small for adult characters, and it looks a little off. Or the heads are too big either. And that's just kind of an art style thing, because that's how that person's style. You can see the exact same thing with the Trung sisters, where they look like as thin as a rail because of the proportions. And that's just a personal taste thing for me. Like, it's not that the art is bad, it just personally doesn't gel with me. Now, that being said, I care much, much, much less about the art style and direction of Pokemon than I do about Pokemon being able to run at least at 30 FPS, which, boy, can it not.
よく言いました。モルゴース。
無駄だ。
モルゴース。
Nothing like watching someone walk into a village and literally watch the game go to single-digit FPS. I can't endorse any game that does that. Dragon's Dogma 2. Do I like Larry, the perpetually tired salaryman that looks like he's gonna fall over dead? Of course. Who doesn't love a physical representation of the overworked genre? Larry would want capitalism to fall, therefore he is my friend. Simple as. Actually, as I recall, Larry's one of the few adults that looks like he's, like, relatively properly proportioned. His head's still a little big, but not as much as some of the other characters. Oh, speaking of liking people, chat, let me ask you guys, has anyone here, who here has played the Walking Dead games? Anyone raise their hand? The Telltale Walking Dead games. You know, the, insert character here will remember that. You haven't? First? No? Damn. That's unfortunate. They're very good. I can highly suggest them. Like, well, the first one's very good. I should be a little more specific. They go down in quality after that. I highly suggest waiting for at least Season 1 to go on sale at some point in time. Hell, they probably go on sale as back and are super cheap by now. They're pretty at this point in time. And at least playing Season 1. Because that one is good. Now, it does have its obvious problems, but not to the level of the future season. Like, the Telltale formula is less aggressive in Season 1 of The Walking Dead. And the formula being insert character here will remember that, and then your choices totally matter, and then your choice actually matter at all. Next scene, your choice didn't matter at all. You know, that stuff. That's not quite so much a thing in Season 1 of The Walking Dead. Like, that one feels much, much better. That's for sure. Anyway, the reason I asked this is because one of the main characters in one that I found out. I've been finding out all kinds of things recently about people. People like that character. And I could not understand why anyone liked that character. He is a racist, hypocritical jerk that is always arguing with someone and making the situation worse at every turn. And I'm like, people liked him? How did anyone like Kenny? He's the worst. like, I'm finding so many people having really weird opinions or lack of media literacy and stuff recently. Like another one I said recently to you guys, for those that weren't here, I found out recently that people did not realize, spoilers for Persona 3 right now for a 20-something-year-old game. Anyway, as I was saying, apparently people didn't understand that main character dies at the end of Persona 3 and sacrifices his life. They're like, I thought he was just sleeping. It's like the game literally tells you that he dies. Read, motherfucker, read! How could you not understand? I remember being racist. Fire Frosty TV in one of the early chapters of The Walking Dead Season 1, when you go to open a lock, Kenny goes to Lee and he's like, you can pick it, right? He's like, what? Well, you know, you're urban. Oh, hell no, you did not just say what I think you did. Oh, come on, man, I'm from Florida. Crazy shit just comes out of my mouth. That's the literal exchange. That's exactly what they say. I remember it verbatim because it was... like, I was already not too fond of Kenny at that point in time, and then at that point I was like, okay, Kenny, you and I hate each other for the rest of this playthrough. I can't wait for you to die. You racist shit. How dare.
Yoくいい判断です。逃がすものか。分断する。内側から終わる。
Well, no, you know, P3 MC obviously doesn't die until the end of P3. But he obviously dies. Like, the whole theming of the game is talking about how self-sacrifice may be necessary. And the whole framing of the final section is telling you this is the end. In fact, I believe the game literally says you have exactly X amount of time left to live. That's not X amount of time left to live unless you stop the thing. It's you have X amount of time left to live. Period. End of sentence. It just really surprises me how little media literacy there is.
よく言いました。いい判断です。逃がすものか。計略だ。死になさい。
Who Chimera? Chimeras are kind of spooky.
手に入らないいい判断です。よく言いました。
Hope for at least one crit from Morgan? Perfect. It'll be fine.
逃がすもの
Okay, not quite fine. Wins the whole game? I'd say it really depends on how it's done.
モルゴー
There are some games where it can be done very poorly or feel like it's out of taste, and then there are some games where it is done expertly and
スよく言いました。
is a fantastic
それは絶えずに
like
た滅びの夢。最果てにありながら鳥は
punctuation to the theming of the game. Which is why it works for Persona 3. Like, one of the main themes of Persona 3 is acceptance of personal responsibility and making choices and following through with them, you know? In fact, I believe the game even starts with you accepting a contract from Igor that says, I chooseth this path of my own free will. Meanwhile, the main villains that you kind of encounter through Persona 3 are the foil to that, where they are deflecting their own responsibilities, saying, I don't want to kill someone, but I have to. Some stuff like that, you know? And I really do need to do a playthrough of Persona 3 again. I do love that game.
手に入らない目をいくらき湖よ死になさい消えなさい何を
Very
喜
good game.
んでいるのです私が出たのです勝利は約束されていたはずですわ
I mean, I guess this is kind of a really common theme in Japanese, especially with media that we've been getting over the past years in the form of RPGs and shit. Persona 3 is very much of the theming of keep moving forward, don't look back and obsess on things that you can't control, and live life to the fullest. Don't stagnate, that kind of stuff.
暗きいい判断ですそれは絶えず見た滅びの夢最果てにありながら鳥は明日を歌うでしょうロードレスキャメロン逃がすものかやっと血がたぎってきたのに終わりだなんていつの世も反乱分子は
Basically, Persona 3's main theme is about actually living life rather than being alive, I guess you could say, you know? Very much a go seize the day, move forward, take responsibility for your actions and keep going, that kind of stuff. despite having a lot of depressing stuff that happened, it's a very optimistic game at the end of the
任せ
day.
なさい。手に入らない手に入らない
ではこうしよ
簡単に終わらない簡単に終わらないよ目にいい判断です逃がすものかそういいでしょう私の足元で許しを乞いなさい落ちよロードレスキャメロット何を喜んでいるので
Games
す
were on a time limit for how long you would live.
私が
I
出
think
た
it,
のです
like I said, it really depends on execution.
勝利は約束され
I've played ones I like and ones I don't. There's these kinds of setups and theming. I tend to generally like them, though, because most of the people that try to do this kind of theming are solid at writing, and as long as the writing's solid, it works. But, you know, sometimes somebody that's not quite so good at the writing does that kind of stuff, you know?
弱き者醜き者であれば不満はありませんさてどこから潰したものよく目を背けないでモルゴース逃がすものか内側から壊れ
You know, speaking of Persona, I wish Persona 1 and Persona 2 existed. Atlas, could they maybe exist a little bit as a treat? I'd appreciate it if they did.
うではこうしよ
目をよく言いました
I like Persona 2 a fair bit.
慈悲
I think it's actually quite good.
恐怖は
The only issues with it are
何人も
it's a bit aged and it's a lot more Shin Megami Tensei than Persona for better or worse.
アコーロ無礼者諦めなさ
Damn, Herc lived. Now he's evading. Now he has guts. An asshole. Damn it, Heracles.
いいい判
Just
断
roll
を
over and
背
die
けない
like you should.
死になさい
罠だ
内側から壊れよく目を背けないで逃がすものか内側から
The totally not Hitler bad guy, yeah. If you're wondering how that comes to be, it's because,
戦う前に勝つくらいでなければ
I guess one of the themes of Persona 2, I would say, is what you say matters, essentially. Because the main story is about rumors that get spread, urban legends, rumors, stuff like that, and become actually real. So, for example, there's rumors that, like, Nazis are coming back and this and that, and so Hitler is now real, even though he shouldn't be. Well, Hitler is now alive, and even shouldn't be, rather than... So essentially, the whole game is this new rumor starts going around, and then that becomes the next big thing to deal with.
戦闘か
さて
なるべく
どこから潰したないよ
Move on to the next one.
くらよく目を背けないでそういいでしょう私の足元で許しを乞いなさい落ちよロードレスキャメロット
犠牲が少なければそれでも勝利だ
Bum, ba-da-ba-bum. They attempted to censor it and only made him cooler. They took Hitler and gave him some sick-ass shades. And then they just called him Führer, but, I mean... Everyone who has ever heard the name Hitler and seen a picture in their entire life knew exactly who it was. It's kind of an iconic look.
出陣します。私の後に続きなさい。すべて見つめます。よくいい。よく言いました。
無駄だ。
逃がす者か。死になさい。
Look, I hate regular. That cooler hit with sunglasses.
どこから潰したもの？
He might have something worth listening.
楽しくなるでしょ。
Here, Hector, don't move. In case you survive this.
よく目を背けないで。それは絶えず見た滅びの夢。最果てにありながら鳥は明日を歌うでしょう。上達キャメラ。
Yeah, of course he has weird spiritual powers.
モルゴース。
Just Google him? Oh,
消
yeah.
えなさい。無礼者。諦めなさい。
Here, I'll show it for everyone.
何を喜んでいるのです。私が出たのです。勝利は約束されていたはずです。
Here you go. On the left is the uncensored version in Japan, and the right is the censored version that came out for the US. As you can see, Hitler and cooler Hitler. Why did they give him aviators? He looks like he's gonna do a sick kickflip over Auschwitz. Like the weirdest censorship decision ever. It's funny at least. But yeah, like Persona 1 and 2 are good games. Persona 2 especially, and I wish that Atlas would honestly take another crack at them and persona them up a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I do like Shin Megami Tensei game.
我が進化よ。
I've played quite a few
玉
of them.
座の支度はできていますか？あまり悩ませないように。さて、どこから潰したもの？さて、どこから潰した？あまり悩ませないように。
But
楽しくなるでしょ。目よく言いま。いい目を背けないで。
as I said before,
そう。
like
いいでしょう。
they were a little too Shin Megami Tensei and not Persona.
落ちよ。
And if you have the name Persona on something, people are expecting certain something. You know what I mean?
潰れなさい。多くにの雲な。おかわりいかがですか？頑張りましょう。いいよく言いました。逃がす者か。何を喜んでいるのです。
Like I think the big thing that Persona 1 and 2 would really hurt
勝利は約束されていた
for
はずです。
fans of Persona that have never played them before is those games are hard. They make the other Persona games feel like a walk in the park by comparison. They have that Shin Megami Tensei, I'm going to destroy your ass difficulty to them. Oh hey, we defeated Okeanos! Speaking of asses destroyed, Okeanos' ass has been destroyed. Go us! Cha-cha! Nice. Oh great, we got a copy of David.
Thank you!
He's not bad, actually. Turbo Baka! Thank you for gift
新しい生活が
sub.
始まります。
Night Butt.
春を楽し